Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pits of Metal Chaos. This is yours, Dave. I got my special guest, Gorgatron singer, Karl Schmidt. How's it going, Karl?
What's up, man? It's going all right, dude.
So how are you doing through this pandemic bullshit, man?
I'm doing all right. I work at UPS, so I haven't actually stopped working, and it's been pretty, it's been normal for me, I suppose. But I've just been trying to stay indoors, and that's about it, honestly.
So how's this affecting the band?
It's we have some things lined up this summer. We're starting to reschedule some of those. As far as we've decided that we still keep getting together and practicing every so often because I pretty much just see my bandmates, so we didn't really see a problem with that. I mean, maybe we shouldn't have, but we're going to keep the death metal train running.
No, you guys just put out a new video, right?
Yep, we just put out Imposter Syndrome music video. That's going to be on Pathogenic Automation, coming out August 28th through Blood Blast Distribution. You can pre-order that at gorgatronband.com if you're interested, those listening.
Yeah, I did check out the video. The song's fucking brutal, man.
Thanks, man. It's that video's pretty stupid, isn't it?
Yeah, but the song's brutal, man.
Oh, thank you. That's probably our fastest song to date, and probably our stupidest music video as well.
Now, this album will be your first album since the Inner Supremacy back in 2015, right?
Yes, that'll be the first record since Inner Supremacy, and the second record with me on it for any trivia nerds, I guess.
Yeah, you entered the band in 2012?
That's when I entered. At the time they parted with their guitarist Neil, who's back in the band, and I was going to school with Neil at the time, and it kind of came full circle because I tried out for that band while I was at school and got in, and then Neil came back. So now it's a big old happy family, I suppose.
So you have any idea what the name of the band, where it came from?
Oh, that's actually an Aqua Teen Hunger Force reference.
Ah.
The Moonanites episode, there's Shake. I think Shake is playing a video game, and in the video game, the final boss is the Gorgatron or something along those lines. It's actually been a while since I've seen that episode, but it's the Moonanites episode of Aqua Teen is where that's from.
Now, when people pre-order the album, do they get anything besides the album?
So we did a limited run of pre-orders with a koozie, a patch, a signed photo, stuff like that. We only did the limited run of those, and I believe those are all sold out. You can still get just the record, or you can go to indiemerch.com, and I believe they have pre-order packages available with some album art, t-shirts, and hoodies that look really rad. So you can do that there. And I think once we get everything in order and things go back to relative normal, I don't know how long that'll be. I think we're planning to press vinyl as well, if anyone's interested, I suppose.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you if it was going to be released on vinyl.
Yeah. Like I said, we're going to try. We just we had to bail on all those shows because all of them got canceled. So we, lost out on some income there. So we just don't have the money right now. But once we do, yeah, we're definitely going to press those on vinyl, and I'm really excited about that. I think we're going to shoot for doing like blue and this. We were just, talking about it the other day. I think we're going to try and do like blue and orange splatter or some type of design or something like that. We'll see though,
Yeah, I'm sure it'll move pretty quick because vinyl seems to be making a good comeback these days, man.
Yeah, it's weird because I have I have a box full of vinyl and a box full of CDs, and every time I move, I just think to myself, man, these have been sitting on my shelf for a while, but I suppose people like that vinyl audio. There's something about it, I suppose,
Yeah. So when was the last show you guys played?
Oh man. Oh, let's see. Last show we played. Well, we did a stream on live at Livewire. Livewire is an audio and video production company in town that our guitarist Neil works at, and I did some work as well. I guess that's not really relevant. Whatever. So they've been doing a series where it's called Live at Livewire, and you can watch a live stream of a band on Facebook, and you can donate money, and all the money goes to the musicians, and it's super awesome because it's sponsored by local businesses as well. So everybody gets their name out there, and then we play in front of a camera, and we live stream that. So that was the last time we got together and played for the public. Since that. Before that, as far as playing live, boy, I actually don't remember. It seems like it was a long time ago. I think, if I remember correctly, it was in Minneapolis when we played with Pathology and Pyrexia.
Yeah. All right, so Karl, let's
go. Whiskey Junction.
Whiskey Junction, cool. Now, Karl, let's go back into your history, man. When did you first start your music career?
Actually, it was this band. So like I said, I went to school for music industry, and then I met Neil, and I was just a whippersnapper. So I played, I've been playing guitar since I was, probably 8th grade. I picked up bass and guitar and dabbled throughout high school, and I was just a dude jamming. So I got to school, and one of the courses I took required us to make a studio session. So I played guitar, and I played bass, programmed some drums, and did some vocals on it. And then at the time, Neil actually helped me with miking and Pro Tools and all that stuff. So he actually helped me with the song that I would later send to the guitarist Paul and Matt at the time. And they listened to it and asked me to go audition. So in 2012, I went and auditioned, and they gave me a call back. And I don't think I've been more excited for a phone call in my entire life than when I got that call to join the band. But yeah, Gorgatron's actually my first band. Actually, I'm pretty blessed because I've heard a lot of horror stories when it comes to people's first bands, and I'm pretty lucky, I suppose.
Yeah. So do you still dabble with the guitar or bass or anything at all anymore?
Yeah, I do. I don't play as much as I'd like to. Obviously, I currently play bass in a band called Rottenness. That's the drummer Matt Johnson from Gorgatron is also in there. Matthias Joyce from Invidiosis is also in that band. And then Halil is from Mexico, and then Charlie is in a band called Animals Killing People, and he's the other guitar player. So it's kind of a project that's all over the map as far as the members, but I play bass in there, and that's where I get most of my instrument fix, I would say,
So what made you decide to start being a death metal vocalist?
Actually, that's an interesting question, because I didn't really have any intentions of being a death metal vocalist. Just, when I had to record those songs for school, I needed someone to do vocals, and I just tried it. I just put a mic in front of my face and said, "Well, I think this is how you do it." And then I tracked some vocals, and then I guess I didn't really decide until I joined Gorgatron is when I decided that I'd pursued a career. Mostly because I don't know about you, but I honestly don't pay attention to a lot of frontman usually when it comes to seeing a band, I'm always looking at guitar players or drummers, just because I play instruments, so I've always watched them. So actually, throughout these years, I've had to get out of my comfort zone and look at vocalists and try not to, pick up what works and what doesn't. I don't know what you feel about it, but I think there's a lot of things that frontmen do that are, I don't know, pretty lame, I guess. There's, I try not to do the typical frontman moves. You know what I'm saying? I just kind of pick out what works and what I don't like, if that makes sense. Like, I see a band and, okay, can I learn something from this band? What do I like? What I don't like? And then all the things that I guess annoy me when I see a band, I just try not to do. So, yeah, like I said, I just got this gig and then kind of started a career from there, I suppose.
So what do you think are the pros and cons of the music industry?
Pros and cons of the music industry? Well, I'd say, if we're going to talk right now, I'd say the pros are everyone is indoors, and everyone has been on the internet and kind of searching for any media. At least from what I've gathered, people that are stuck in their houses, they've been streaming, everything that they could. They have time to check out things that they didn't necessarily have time for before. And so I think it's good right now, because anything that you release electronically, or not electronically, but like streaming videos and streaming music, this is the time that people have time to adequately, I don't know what the word would be, I guess, like, take something in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, people have time to watch your shit. They have time to listen to your shit. So I think it's good that that's happening. There's all these outlets where you can watch things online and such. I'd say the biggest con right now is, pretty obvious. We can't play live anywhere, and that's a huge part of being any band. I'd say is just the chemistry and the energy that you get from the crowd, particularly the fans of bands that they're seeing. It's like, yeah, without that, it's pretty tough, man.
Now, is social media pretty important to your band?
Yeah, I would say it is, to a certain extent. Obviously, it's good for promotion and getting things out there. A lot of people pay attention to social media presence and how many followers or likes that you have. So yeah, I'd say it's pretty important. But I would also say that there's a large chunk of social media that we don't particularly care for. What I mean by that is, people go online and they shit talk, or they troll, and they say, they try to slander things, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, your keyboard warriors.
Yeah, the keyboard war. Like, we don't get into that at all. At least I personally don't, and I don't really. I don't really think the band does know. We just try to avoid that. And honestly, I think there's a lot of people that kind of take things a little too seriously, if you know what I mean. Like, we're pretty easygoing guys. If there's anything that one of us posts that offends you or you think is not appropriate, I think people need to take a step back and realize that, like, dude, we're just joking most of the time. Like, I personally think a lot of social media is a joke for that reason, is because you can post something and totally be joking, but it's just text and images. People can't tell when you're being sarcastic or anything like that. And I guess I should be aware of that. But yeah, for the most part, we just try to avoid all that nonsense, man. It's like, dude, we're just dudes playing death metal, man. That's it. That's really it.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, man.
Yeah, because you can, there's some lifelong fans that we've gotten just from someone looking at, a fucking YouTube video. It's just that's how the world works these days, I suppose.
Now, has the band Gorgatron ever played out of the country?
We played in Canada. I was year, I believe, we played Manitoba Metal Fest. A good friend, Corey from Ninja Cat Productions, put that on. But that was a really rad day because we played the Gigantic Theater and we played with Origin, and that was probably that's been a goal of ours for a while. But yeah, we played in Canada so far. I believe that we're working on trying to get out to Europe and other places, but obviously that's probably not going to happen right now. Yeah. So, as of now, we're just sticking to doing shows in the country, I suppose, if we can get it. I don't know if you've heard anything of when people are going to start playing shows again, or what.
I don't think it's going to be till later, by August, September, maybe.
We're yeah. I mean, like I said, we're trying to reschedule most of the things that we couldn't do this, throughout the last couple months. We missed out on a couple dates in April, actually with Origin for Occupation Domination Tour. And then I think we were supposed to do some in July, and all the stuff got messed up.
Yeah, like Randy Castor's Blaze of Steel Festival, that was supposed to happen in April. He pushed that to October.
But that's still happening?
Yeah, it should be. It's supposed to happen in October as long as shit opens up by then. Hopefully everything will be back.
Sure. Yeah, hopefully. That's good to hear that that's still happening, though. Fuck yeah.
So now, Karl, what do you enjoy most about being a musician?
What do I enjoy most about being a musician? I would say, if I had to narrow it down to one thing, playing live, man. I don't know about you, but I've done a lot of drugs in my life, like a lot of drugs, and nothing has given me that feeling of being on stage and being in front of people. There's something about that adrenaline rush and the room energy and all that. Yeah, there's nothing like that. That's honestly where it's at for me. If I could go my whole the rest of my music career and I could just play live and I didn't have to record any vocals in the studio, man, I would be the fucking happiest frontman you could ever think of, man. It would be even better if I didn't have to write any lyrics. Then it would be the great. If I could just do live death metal, boy, that would be rad. I'm not saying I don't enjoy writing lyrics or being in a studio, but if I could, I would definitely take that option. I don't know if you know any people looking for freelance vocalists, but I'll take that gig. And for anyone listening, I'll do live vocals for anyone. I don't give a shit. That's fun.
Love that live energy, right?
Oh yeah, I feed off that shit, man. Like I said, it's like a drug. If I could snort live music energy, I think I'd probably have a pretty strong addiction to that. Or if I could smoke it. Can you imagine if you could smoke room energy? You could just smoke like a joint and be like, oh man, it feels like I'm in front of people. Oh man, that'd be a dangerous drug, my man.
Hell yeah. Now, what do you hate most about being a musician?
What do I hate most? Okay, so I'm going to sound super, maybe conceited is the word. I honestly don't like when, I don't like getting punished. And, okay, I don't know if you're familiar with this term, but getting punished is when, you get off stage and, well, for me, I usually go to the merch booth. So you get off stage, and then some drunk guy just needs to tell you that you're the greatest musician he's ever seen, and then they start going into their backstory or something, and then there's dudes that'll come up to you and be like, oh man, that fucking one song that you guys played, it was so rad, and then you did this, and it was so cool, and I really appreciate the nice things that people have to say. I really like it when people have fun times, but there's just certain times where people get too long-winded, and it's like, yo, man, I'm really happy at a fun time, but I don't need to know about how you and your brother, jammed this one song in 8th grade one time, and it led you to believe. It's like I don't. You can just be like, hey man, that was real rad, and things like that. But yeah, sometimes getting punished, that can be so brutal. And like I said, I sound like a fucking dick right now because people are gonna be listening to this, being like, hey man, you probably got punished like 3 times. Like, yeah, I understand, but yeah, sometimes I get a little odd. I think mostly because it's people that are way drunker than I am at the time. So, because we don't really drink when we play, so if there's someone who's like 14 deep talking to you about your show, it's like, hey man, that's cool. I'm not on that level right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably the only thing I dislike, I suppose. That and I'd probably say that and people that say that they're doing things for the business they're seeing, and they definitely aren't. I also shitty sound guys and show promoters. I don't like that either. I don't like people like that.
Now, have you ever had any fans come up to you and say like, "Hey, man, your music like changed my life" or anything like that?
I mean, there's been a couple people that had said things along those lines. Not too many. I'd probably venture to guess probably 1 or 2 people have told me that. And of course, it's one of the most flattering things I've ever heard. But probably only a couple people have told us that. I don't. I kind of wish it would happen more, though, to be honest. That'd be kind of rad if, we played one set and then we changed people's lives. I mean, I don't know. Think about if you were the band that had the reputation, like, oh, man, those guys will change your lives. You know how many people would come out to check us out? Think, oh, man, I think my life changed. I got to go see Gorgatron. That'd be fucking cool.
Yeah.
We'll work on that.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on the shitty sound man thing. No, shitty sound man is really, that makes the show suck, man, having a shitty sound guy.
Oh, yeah. Well, and it's the worst because I don't feel as though that we're that difficult of a band to work with. We pride ourselves in being quick with what we do and being efficient and having our things in order. So, sound guys are super, short, and they think that we're rock stars and shit. Man, I don't really appreciate that at all. Partially because I've done it a couple times. I'm not going to say that I'm a master, but I've definitely ran sound for events and shows here and there. And it's like, man, if you're just polite about it, it can probably go a long way. I understand there's bands out there that have rock stars and stuff, but yeah, I don't know, man. It could be fine if you just give it a whirl.
Yeah, one venue that I used to love the sound they had there was where I saw you guys there a couple of times. Was at the Metal Grill in Wisconsin?
Oh, that's a fun joint.
Yeah, that's
a good.
Unfortunately, the owner Neil sold that place out, and it's reopened now. It's called the X-Ray Arcade.
Oh, they're not doing shows there anymore?
Yeah, they're still doing shows.
But it's not the same dude, you're saying?
Yeah, different owner though.
Okay. You know what? Maybe we'll play there when shit opens up. We'll play an arcade. I don't give a fuck. Do they have?
Yeah, they
one or?
I see some battle shows here and there. Yeah.
Yeah. Do they have Street Fighter 2 Turbo?
What's that?
Do they have Street Fighter 2 Turbo at that arcade?
I don't know. I haven't been in there yet since they reopened it.
Oh, okay. Well, just whoever's listening, if Gorgatron comes and plays that X-Ray Arcade, I am open challenging anyone to Street Fighter 2 or Mortal Kombat 1, 2, 3. You can take that to the bank. I will face you. I don't care.
Yeah. Now, Karl, if you were able to change anything about the music industry, where would that be?
Oh, I'd say I wish music was people's number one outlet that they paid for and did with their time. which I suppose that's changing the world. Okay, I'd say I just wish that we could, and I know that this is kind of out of the music industry's control, but I wish I could do music and make a decent living off of it. Pretty much, I'd probably leave it at that, because I don't know about you, man, but I work at UPS, but I'm also a bartender, and I'm a way better frontman than either of those jobs and any other job I've ever had. I'm way better at being a frontman, which, sounds, like I said, that sounds full of myself again, but I am being serious. I could be on stage and look stupid and flip my hair around and air guitar way better than I could ever do any normal job in my fucking life, I swear to God. And I wish I could just do that and get paid millions of dollars a night. That's what I changed about the music industry. I wish I made millions of dollars a night. Plural. $3 million a night. Yeah, that's my goal now. $3 million a night.
Now for the upcoming album, Pathogenic, Automotion, did you wrote all the lyrics for that one?
I did write all the lyrics for Pathogenic Automation. Yeah, most of those lyrics, and yeah, you can go ahead and make fun of me if you want. Most of the lyrics for that record, and honestly, some of the lyrics from the record prior, are about people getting turned into robots.
Now, what does the title of the album mean?
Pathogenic Automation is pretty much a concept where it seems like everybody kind of wakes up and lives their lives, and it's just robotic, man. And it's called Pathogenic Automation because I feel like it just spreads so hard. There's just so many people that wake up and just put it on autopilot, go to work, get off work, do whatever, and then repeat. And that's all they do. And I'm not going to say that I am not guilty of that most of the time. What I'm saying is that I feel like there's so many other things that people can do with their time, and if they just tried, you can do things. I don't know, man. Yeah, it seems like some days you walk around and everyone's a fucking robot, man. I don't know. That's pretty much it. There's also some things about people literally being turned into robots as well, transforming and stuff like that. I don't know, man. I have this weird fascination with people being turned into robots. I just think that's an untapped death metal lyric gold mine, and B, I think there just needs to be more things on that topic. Because I don't know. Have you ever thought about being turned into a robot?
There's a lot of fucking robots being created in the world, man. About AI, man. That shit's there's gonna be a lot of robots coming out in the future, man.
Yeah, man. I'm saying, that could be you and I someday.
Yeah.
We're gonna be robots. Isn't that fucked up to think about? Yeah, I don't know. I write a lot of lyrics about that. I also write a lot of lyrics about, obviously people dying and starvation and things of that nature. You have to. It sounds cool when it's coming out of a growled voice into a microphone.
Yeah. Then there's a lot. I think there's gonna be a lot of cloning going on too, man.
A lot of what?
Cloning.
Oh man, that's scary. I can't think about what the world would be like if there was two of me running around, or three, I guess. Yeah, that's. Maybe I could just clone the rest of my band and then just clone younger versions of all of them, so we could,
yeah.
I can always have a fresh band. That'd be kind of rad. But see, then we'd run into issues because I'd clone a younger version of myself, and he'd be better than me, and then we'd have a problem. Yeah, I'll look into that.
You have the older version of the band and the younger version. Which one do you want to sound out on tour, man?
I'm sorry, you broke up. Could you say that again?
I think you have the two versions of the band, the older version and the newer version. Which one are you going to send out on a tour?
All right. because then there'd be a bunch of like legalities because the younger band would be suing the older band, but we'd be the OGs, so you know we'd have a problem there. We could probably figure that out though.
Yeah.
Fuck it, dude. We'll just send both of them. We'll just have young Gorgatron open, and then old Gorgatron will headline. And then, yeah, because there we go. That's what we'll do. We'll just charge people the regular counter price, and then they'll just get to see two different versions of the band. That'd actually be kind of cool if we could do that.
Yeah.
Because with the lineup changes and everything, man, that's actually kind of a cool idea. And then we'll have Robot Gorgatron like open that show. That'll be perfect.
Yeah. So now, for the latest album, where did you guys record that one at?
That was done in our practice space, actually. Most of the guitars, yeah, actually everything was done there. It was done in our practice space. We just have a little 2-monitor computer with Cubase, and we went to town.
Now, how long was the recording process?
I think it took us around 3 to 6 months because the drums are done relatively quickly, and then guitar scratch track, and then guitar and bass were done, and then I did my vocals. The thing that kind of muddled up that process is because Neil rejoined relatively soon after we got done recording. So then he joined, and then we had to do his guitar solos and his guitar tracks. So that kind of pushed us back a little bit. And also, initially when we started recording, we were just going to do an EP. So we had 5 tunes ready to go. And then we realized that we had to do a full length. So we actually had to re-record those 5 songs and then write 4 more songs. I think we actually wrote 5, but 4 of them only made the record. And then we had to record those as well. So it was actually a long process, but after that amount of time, I think we nailed her.
So you guys do all the mixing and mastering?
Yeah, for the most part. I think on this one we Paul did most of the mixing, and a couple of us were here and there throughout the process, and I believe Neil mastered it. So yeah, mostly the guitar players.
Now,
it's kind of a dangerous move because listening back to the mastered version, it sounds great. But I mean, if we had both of our guitar players mixing it, we could have gotten a mix that was all guitars and dive bombs, which would be cool. But that could have been potentially devastating.
Yeah. Now, who writes all the music for the band?
Well, it usually starts with a riff. Paul's a pretty serious riff master, so he starts writing riffs and then he bounces them off the map. And then, actually, all of us have a pretty good contribution rate, or we all usually have riffs laying around. There's the title track, Pathogenic Automation, was actually written by our bass player Cam, and he also wrote Pierced from Within, or not Pierced from Within, my bad, Pierced from All Angles. So those 2 are his, and Paul wrote a majority of the riffs on the other ones, and then I wrote a couple songs for the previous record. I don't believe I did any on this one. But yeah, so pretty much those riffs get bounced off of Matt, and then he does his drum thing, and then after all that is said and done, it gets sent over to me, and then I write some lyrics and vocal patterns, and bake for 20 minutes at 350 degrees, and you got a death metal song. So yeah, I'd say we all have a pretty good hand in writing.
All right, now, do you have a fondest memory of being in this band?
Fun, man. I'd say besides the obvious, I really like playing with this lineup. I'd say the fondest memory I'd have would be the miles spent on the road, just conversing in the band. particularly after we just packed up and left the show. Those are some of my favorite times on this planet, because there's something about being in a van and, you know, the adrenaline is still there, and, you know, you just got done playing, but then you pack up and you have that sense of relief, like, okay, we're done, we did our work, we can relax. And some of those conversations are the best conversations you'll ever have. Because, you know, you can talk about something that happened during the night, or you can talk about something that happened earlier, or you can talk about whatever. But you're all usually usually in pretty good moods. Because I don't know if you've noticed this, but the ease of talking to, like, a musician before they play and after they play is, like, night and day, man. Have you ever talked to a musician before they go on stage? It's like talking to a rock. But then afterwards, you know, they get that buzz, and they're just the most talking people. And, you know, that happens to us, too. So, yeah, I'd probably say the van time, man. Man, there's a bunch of van stories I can tell you about just us saying dumb shit. But, yeah, I'd say playing live and talking with my band members in the van. Those are my favorite times.
Do you have a funny or embarrassing moment on stage you could talk about?
Funny or embarrassing moment? Oh, I mean, there's a lot of embarrassing moments for me. I'd say there's been a lot of times where I've farted for an entire set, and my band has gotten angry at me, but we can't do anything because we're playing. That's definitely happened. We've definitely had drunk people come up on stage and stuff. I'd probably say most embarrassing moment from me is every time that I've fucked up saying something in between songs. Because I am so bad at that in between song banter, get the crowd pumped up. I am so bad at that, man. I don't know what to say, and I don't know what lands and stuff. I've said some pretty dumb shit on, you know, in between songs. I'd say the most embarrassing, though, is there's been plenty of times where I've completely butchered a band name, or, you know, like a band that played before or after us. There's definitely been times where I've butchered the headliner's name, and I just feel like the hugest piece of shit. Yeah, probably that, man. Yeah, there's been a lot of that. For instance, there was this show that we did with Green Jelly, I believe is what they were touring under at that time. But when I said, you know, let's give it up for Green Jelly, I couldn't remember if it was Green Jello or Green Jelly, so I just kind of said Green Jelly. That's what I said on stage, and I knew at the time, like, oh my God, why did I even bother if I'm not going to say it right? Oh yeah, that was bad. And I've done that multiple times, so we'll go with that. Anytime I've butchered anything in between songs, which happens a lot. Yeah. So, yeah, it sucks.
Have you ever fell down on stage?
Oh, yeah, dude. I definitely fall down on stage. Let's see. I will say none of them were because I was drunk. But, yeah, dude, I think I tripped over my own mic cable one time. That was pretty embarrassing. Another time it was because we were playing on the floor and, you know, a bunch of drinks and shit got spilled, so I fell down. Yeah, but, dude, if you fall down on stage, you just gotta own that shit, because, it fucking happens, man.
Yeah.
I found if you do something stupid, like if you fall on stage, it's way better if you just play it off like, hey, I fucked up, man. I'm just gonna keep rocking. Or, you know, because there's dudes that'll try and act like they're fucking tough and shit. Like, no, I didn't fall on stage. What are you talking about? No, I don't remember that. You know, it's like, yeah, whatever, dude. You fell on stage. It's okay. It happens.
Now, how many social media sites can we find Gorgatron on?
You can find Gorgatron on Facebook. You can find Gorgatron on Instagram. I believe we have a Twitter. I do not have an access to that account, so you'll have to ask somebody else. But yeah, we're on Twitter. And then you can go to GorgatronBand.com We got merch and stuff. We're also an indie merch store. Let's see. I think we have a band camp as well. Yeah, we have a band camp as well. And if there's other outlets where you can reach us, I forgot. I apologize. But that should be a good start. You can also Google search or YouTube search Gorgatron, and you'll most likely find one of our faces.
Awesome. Well, Karl, I want to thank you very much for taking time to do this interview, man.
Hey, no problem, dude. It was a good time.
And then I'm going to close out with Imposter Syndrome. You want to talk about what the song Imposter Syndrome is about?
Oh, sure. Imposter Syndrome is about people that are fake, whether it be in real life or on social media, and unmasking those people, whether it be good or bad. I would say that this song is based on the bad, when people, say that they're good people, or they do good things, or they do, online or in real life, but they don't. They're just saying they do. And it's about people like that. It's like, nah, you're actually full of shit, dude. And it's about that shit.
All right, cool. I'm going to spin that one now, and then I want to thank you very much again, Karl, for being on the air, and hopefully we'll see you guys out on the road sometime soon.
Yeah, man. Like I said, we're gonna play that. We're gonna play that arcade, and I'm gonna whoop your ass in Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter.
All right, Karl. You have a great night, man.
All right, you too, man. Thanks, Jen.
Stay safe.
Yeah. Later, man.
All right, later.